Alright, so I am back, and today we are going to be taking a look at the new Masterpiece 22 Ultra Magnus. And so, here's the box. It's got a good product image of the Ultra Magnus figure. Both robot and trailer mode. There's the top of the box. Side of the box. Bottom of the box shows everything that's included. Side of the box and the back of the box, which has got a bunch of stuff I can't read, but you get the drift. Alright, now everyone's already seen him compared to the trailer of Optimus Prime, so we're not going to waste anybody's time with that. But here he is in robot mode, and he's a big one. He's definitely a big figure. So for accessories, what he comes with is a little Daniel figure. So zoom in on him. Come on. There we go. Paint job's decent. It's molded in that soft plastic that we all hate. Or at least parts of him are. He had some really big hips. He's okay, I guess. Nothing really to write home about. He also comes with Spike. So this is actually our third Masterpiece Spike figure, and yet we still don't have a Masterpiece Soundwave, or Shockwave, official anyway. So Spike gets 3 Masterpiece versions of himself, and we don't get any Shockwaves. What gives? Again, yeah, the paint job isn't top notch, the sculpt isn't great, flimsy plastic. Again, nothing really to write home about. So he's also got these 2 softer rubber hands, and these are meant to interact with the matrix of leadership that comes with the MP10. You know, when Optimus reviewed this figure last week, I sat there and I thought, well, you know, that's not too bad. You know, he doesn't come with the Matrix, but at the same time, I mean, I'm not going to show it off because he doesn't come with that accessory. So why should I show off a feature that he doesn't have? And it does kind of irritate me, to be honest. At first, I didn't think I was going to be irritated with it until I had it in hand, and I was like, man, I wish I could interact this with the Matrix. But my Matrix is in Optimus's chest. If I didn't have an Optimus, I couldn't show you that. So, if you guys don't have an Optimus, you're not going to be able to utilize these things at all. So, again, you know, why should I show off something, an action feature of this figure that requires another $150 figure to utilize? That's not this figure's accessory. So, I mean, I know it's meant to just interact with something, but it kind of bugs me a lot, actually. I mean, it's just one little piece of plastic they could have added in. But to attach these hands, if you wanted to, what you want to do is just grab this hand here and just give it a good try and move everything out of the way here, and then pull it off. And this is hard plastic here, which is something I don't recommend pulling on and off a ball joint. So again, it's a feature that's going to do damage to this socket. Why would they do that? But whatever. And then this just plugs on there. It's soft plastic, so it plugs on really easily. And there you go. And if you don't mind the big slot in the hand, where the Matrix would fit in, you could actually just use these hands and give them just a slightly different pose on the hand. You don't have to. It's something you can do. But that's the best you could do if you don't have a Masterpiece Optimus Prime that you're not wanting to have the Matrix. So if you have a Masterpiece Optimus Prime, you don't like him having the Matrix, which is weird, you can do that. He comes with another face. It's the oh my god, everything's going wrong face. So we'll angle the camera up, try and zoom in where the head is. And this is really not working well because he's so big. Anyway, so what you want to do is you just see that's his regular face, and you can see he's got a little bit of a loose head joint going on here. But you want to pull the crest out, just kind of grab it and pull it off, and now he's got like an Optimus head that's kind of like I actually really dig this, but there's some paint scratches on it, and this is die cast, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, so what you want to do with the face here, come on, focus. So you just take this face here and you just push it back. That comes out, and then you take this other face here and it just plugs in on that little plug there. Get him the everything's going horribly wrong look, and then you just plug it on and you're done. It works. It's not the greatest feature in the world. Oh, my camera is way too low for this guy. There you go. That's a little bit better. So, I mean, it works if you're into that sort of thing. I'm not, and quite frankly, I just wish they would have made the head fit in on a little bit better, because as it is, I mean, that doesn't hold on very well. It's just got a tab right here, a tab here, and a tab here, just little plugs, and that's what holds the whole head on. So yeah, and the little plug in the middle there kind of wedges in there too. So it's like, I kind of wish they would have just given us a good head, or at least like the MP wheel jack, where you actually have to unscrew the head to get in there. Yeah, that would have worked better than this. I don't like just being able to tug on a face and pull it off. And like I said, I mean, it just doesn't seem to be the most sturdiest of heads, and that diecast is also making his head too heavy for his own good. It's just kind of floppy. Anyway, he does come with instructions and the little Masterpiece card and stuff like that, and it's got pictures of all the different Ultra Magnuses. We got G1, Clear G1, Robots in the Skies, DIA. We've got, this is interesting because they got Overload from Energon as Ultra Magnus, when there was a repaint of this figure as Ultra Magnus in Ultra Magnus colors. So I don't know why they didn't put that one on there instead of this guy. Then we got the MP Ultra Magnus, which is the white prime. Then we got the G2 Laser Optimus Prime, which is a white prime. Then we got the animated one, which is cool. Trying to get these things out of the way here. And then we got the white prime from Ultrany. Again, just a white prime. We don't have classics on here, which is weird. But, whatever. I guess they didn't want to do another white prime. Then we get the Beast Hunters Ultra Magnus. This is the first version. And we have a Beast Hunter, Transformers Prime. Then we have a Transformers Prime mini version of the first Ultra Magnus, which is weird because, again, there was the retool of the RID Optimus Prime that they had as the Beast Hunters Ultra Magnus. So I don't know why they didn't use him instead of him. And then we have the Generations War Fall of Cybertron one, which is, at least it's a blue Prime instead of a white Prime. So I'm not entirely sure on what their decisions were on adding these pictures, because I definitely would have put a Classics on there. And I would have used the repaint of him as Ultra Magnus. And then there was also Armada Prime that was repainted as Ultra Magnus. Just a white Prime, but it was actually a pretty solid figure. So I don't know why they're picking certain ones and not other ones. So it's just weird. Anyway, so that's it for the accessories. He does come with a gun. We're going to have to zoom this all the way out. I'm sorry, guys. It's not going to have the most detail here. But he does also come with a gun. This will plug into the trailer mode, and I'll show you that when we get to the trailer mode. But it's just a pistol. Feels kind of hollow. And then the handle does transform to that. So, nothing too spectacular. And I mean, it's his gun, so it works. So, yeah, I'm not knocking the gun. Alright, now the figure for articulation, his head does rotate side to side, goes up and down. It's really loose. Shoulders can kind of go out like that far. That's it. That's all you get, unless you pull these armatures out, and then you get nothing more. That's it. That's all you get. That's your arm outward swing. Is this? Then the arms do rotate all the way around, as other people mentioned. The arms are too big for the body. So yeah, a little in, little out. It has a little bit of a side-to-side rocker here. This does not peg in, so as you move the arms, they're just going to come out. So I will warn you of that. That is actually a really common problem with the entire figure. Things don't hold together as well as I would like. So, and we'll cover those as we get to them. He does have a bicep swivel. Arms, nice ratchet up and down. There's no ratchet at the shoulder. I think Optimus pointed that out too. But I would have really liked to have a ratchet. And, I've seen it where they have like an extra joint inside there where as you move it, it just kind of pistons itself out. So I don't know why they couldn't do that for him. But, whatever. Hands do rotate. They are on ball joints. So do they rotate? You get a little hindered because they're kind of in this cuff thing. Again, the cuff kind of gets in the way on this, but the last three fingers do go in and out, and then the pointer finger is also on its own joint, which brings me to my question of why couldn't they add that extra digit in the pointer finger like Optimus and Soundwave and the Seeker molds have. I mean, it looks like it's got the cut for it, but it doesn't bend on its own, so it's just one piece that rotates in and out. So that's not a make or break, but it's just kind of like, I'm used to it, so why did they change it? Nothing at the waist due to transformation, and I'm okay with that because of the way it transforms. It does leave him with a pretty big flat back there. Optimus pointed that out. He had issues with it, but it's okay. It's not that bad. The missiles do rotate. This panel does not lock in very well, and this little hinge does not lock in at all. It just kind of sits in there. So once you get it in there, it stays pretty well. But it's just kind of weird that it doesn't actually snap into place or something. Yeah. Anyway, nothing at the waist. Hips go up about that far. That's as far as it goes up. And then backwards they go all the way back there if you move that butt flap. So that's decent. He does have little skirting things that kind of move out of the way, so you can get the legs out for a pretty wide pose. He's not stable enough to do it by himself, so you gotta have to hold him. But plastic creaks. He's got a thigh swivel, which just kind of, it's more of a thigh tilt. It's not a full swivel. And again, it's like they have the cut right here in the plastic for a thigh swivel down there, but they didn't do it. So I don't know why. Knees can go forward a little bit, and they go back. And then the foot has a little bit of a rocker there. So yeah. Yeah. So now we'll get into the transformation. So I'll pause the video real quick. Alright, now for transformation, this guy is really simple. He's the reverse problem I have with like Ollie and like the Fans Project Minosaur kit. It's just, you know, those guys are too complicated. This guy's too simple. So what you want to do is open these up. These will fold down like that, and just kind of close up. Open and down, just like so. Take these arms here and we pull this section out back like that. Let's see here. Oh, and then we want to pull the chest up. This. Oh, slide the head back. So I'm going to pull the chest up a little bit. And then you can pull this piece here, just kind of unpegs and folds up like that. Locks in place and it holds pretty nicely. And pull this back, like so. And you want to pull this piece here up. And this will come up like so. Then you take these side pieces here and these just swivel out and rotate around like this. Out and around. There you go. And then this assembly here will come around and come up like this. So before you get it all the way into place, you want to push these side panels in. And then this will plug in like so. And then you close up the top. And there's the cab. And you can take this off if you need to. I actually think it would be more complicated to take it off than easier to work on two different things. I mean, it's easier to work on two different things, but trying to attach it to go into robot mode might be a little bit difficult as you're going. Take the smokestacks here, and they just rotate around like so. And what you want to do here is just kind of take the arms here out like so. Take this top section here out. It'll swivel around and plug in. There's just a little plug right there that goes in that hole right there. So plug that in, and then you take this arm assembly here and you just kind of pull a Fans Project here and you bend the plastic down a little bit to pull this out. And it comes out like that. This will rotate to the back like this, And then you take the missile pod here, and this will rotate around, and this will tab in up here. Then you take the armature here. So this is robot mode, so now you want to pull it up like this, and that's for truck mode. And then the missile here comes around and rotates back like so. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. So pull this off, pull this up, rotate around, plug it in. Bend the plastic a little bit to pull this out. Kind of just hangs into place. See, it doesn't actually lock, it just kind of sits in place. So rotate this around, this will double hinge up, this will come out like so, and this will come in like that. Alright. Then what you want to do is come down here and you pull the feet out, and then they rotate around, and they just slot back in. And then pull this piece here. It just unpegs right there. There's a little peg and a little slot that it pegs into. Pull that out. This will straighten all the way out, like so. Then you take the foot, click it down like so, and then this piece will slide up. And this is going to tab in right up here. We'll wait till we get the other leg done though. Let's see. Pull this out. Take this, and it rotates around. Like that. And then you just kind of, what you got to do here, you pull this up and then it snaps into place, and then you can see it doesn't line up, so you just kind of have to bend the legs until you get it to line up like so. So that they're not supposed to be perfectly straight, they got to be kind of at an angle, just ever so slightly. Now there's tabs inside there, just little white tabs right there, and down here. And you just kind of line those up and they plug in together. Like so. Alright, so we pull that back up, snap that back into place. Come on, snap back into place. Snap back into place. And we take the gun here, fold this up, and this will come down here. There's a slot and a circle peg. They'll plug in to the sides on here and on the other blue one. So you plug that in. Side. And then there's a little tab. It's the tiniest little tab right there that'll plug into where the forearms were. So plug that in on that side. I'm gonna try and plug these guys back together. And plug that in there. So there you go. Then you want to take these wheels here, and they just come out. And there you have Ultra Magnus in his truck mode. And yeah, he rolls. He's got rubber tires. I like rubber tires. I think they just help make him roll a lot better. The cab can go a little bit left, a little bit right. You can do a little bit more if you kind of pull things out of the way. The tires are getting caught, so that's as far as he can go on one side, and same on the other. And then down here, you can press this little button here, and that will pull the cab out. So you got cab, rolls. It's cool, but you do have Ultra Magnus face right there, and there's really no way to cover that up. I mean, I wish like maybe a little panel here would fold down, or something. But yeah, there is Ultra Magnus in truck mode. Now we've all seen, you know, he can hold up to 4 MP cars there, so there's nothing new there. I mean, I'm not gonna waste everyone's time on doing that. Yeah, if you guys want to see comparisons with him and Optimus in truck mode, and you want to see the cars on there, let me know. I'll be happy to do it. We've all seen it, so what's the point? All right, so yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I have issues here, a lot of issues with this figure in this mode. Nothing truly pegs in to the point where I'm sitting there like, okay, this is secure now. It all just kind of seems like it's going to fall apart with the slightest gust of wind. When you pull these little things down, you can see that they're not centered. You know, they kind of come in at an angle. I don't know if that's the way it's designed, but I don't like it. And like I said, it's just nothing is as secure on this figure. I mean, you can see like this doesn't tab in. There's no place for these missiles to tab in over here. As a matter of fact, there's no room for the missiles on the side. You just kind of have to sit them there and just hope that that's where you want them. You can take the missiles here and you can rotate them around and kind of plug them in-ish. And they kind of hold a lot better there, but this does not tab in. Again, it's just like the other one. There's no tabs, there's no plugs, there's just a slight little piece of plastic here and a slight little groove right there, and and you can see like this stuff does not stay plugged in, and then when I try and get this one up, this piece comes off, yeah, okay. This is supposed to be a masterpiece figure. This is a joke. I mean, this is just a joke, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, there was a little panel. I missed that. Let's see here. There you go. So that panel comes out, and that fills that spot in. Same on the other side. But I mean, this is a floppy mess, is what this is. Nothing truly tabs in to the point where I'm sitting there and it's like, okay, this is a solid figure. I'm not trying to bash on this figure, but seriously, this is just not up to par, not what I'm used to when it comes to official masterpiece figures. I mean, okay, third-party figure maybe, and that's pretty pathetic. If I'm used to third-party figures being floppy mess, but this is an official piece. Are they telling me that they couldn't find a way to make a slightly better tab to tab these arms together, or tab this into that, or maybe like a little armature that folds out and locks into place on the other side. It has nothing like that. It just... Alright, so you can open this top piece here all the way up like this, and you can take your little spike figure if you want and just kind of plug them into there. And it's actually got this little square peg that his crotch kind of fits around. And it kind of holds them in there. Or actually it does hold them in there pretty well once you get it right. But it's kind of a pain to get them right because things don't really move out of your way to get them in there. Whatever. I'm done messing with that. That's not worth any of our time. So, anyway. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of grief for this video, but I mean, I'm just stating my opinion. And maybe it's just my version of him, but I'm having... You can see I'm having issues here. I mean, this... I'm just... There we go. So this locks in pretty well. The face shouldn't be visible, and you can see the face. I mean, none of the MP cars you can. Optimus and Bumblebee, I mean, they all lock together really well. Everything holds very well on those guys. This guy just doesn't. Anyway, so to transform him back, you fold the mirrors back in, pull the gun out, pull the handle down, set that off to the side. Take this, even though, I mean, it's already pretty much halfway untransformed anyway. So move those out of the way. Rotate the feet up. Right, now you gotta unpeg these, and then they will rotate back. Like that. And these do not lock back. There's nothing to lock them in the back. Split the legs. Yeah, they don't lock back there. They'll lock in a little bit better later, but rotate the foot up. This is just kind of like that, and you can. There's a little blue tab right there that you can kind of wedge it behind, but in order to do so, you're kind of having to bend it out of place to get it back there. So pull this down. This will rotate around and slot back in. Then you rotate this, and this comes down, and there's a little slot right there. So I'll plug into that peg right there. Just kind of peg those in. Do the same thing on the other side. And he's got die cast in his foot, die cast in the chest. That's die cast, which is really nice. He's got a lot of die cast. So this will fold back. This will come down and just kind of plugs in. Wheels come down. They rotate around like so. And there you go. There's his feet done. Camera up a little bit. Alright, now you want to take this piece here. This will fold down. Now Optibottom's pointed out that his, like when he pulled up there, he'd see stress marks. Well, I don't see any stress marks on mine, so I have no issues. This doesn't tab in anywhere here. In case you can't tell, I'm a little frustrated. I'll go on that in my final thoughts. Kill me. Just kill me. Alright. So you pull this section here down, and this whole assembly comes around. Back like so. These two pieces here they pull out. Just rotate around. And then there's a little circle peg right there that'll actually plug into the wheel of the tire, or the tire. So you just kind of plug that in. Just kind of plug that in. And this assembly here will come up and then in like so. And this, oh, I gotta give these tires a squeeze. And they will turn around and lock into place. These do lock in very securely, to the point where I'm concerned on the pegs. But this will come around, and I know I'm kind of going back and forth on whether or not I want tabs or whatever. Here, while we got this open, you can take the other face, and you can plug that in right here, in case you want to store it. And this will just tab in like so. Then this armature here will come back and kind of tabs in place loosely. Then you take this piece here and you pull this out. This whole assembly will come up and then just locks that in place. Now this does lock in pretty well. Arm comes down and then it double hinges forward. This piece here will come up and around, and you just kind of push it into place. Again, it locks pretty well, but not too secure. It's not the tab that's actually locking it into place, it's the hinge that seems to do a little bit better job of holding it into place. Pull these apart, and this folds up. They tab in pretty well. This will come up, rotate around. Alright, so there you go. This comes around. Same thing. Pull this up. This will come around. Oh, I forgot to rotate these smokestacks in, so you just rotate those around. See, this doesn't lock in very well either. But then you slide the head forward and then it does hold pretty well. Rotate this down, and there you go. There is Ultra Magnus back into robot mode. And you can just plug his gun in, and you just got the standard masterpiece plug with the slots on the side. Close his hand around it, and you're good to go. And there you go. There's Ultra Magnus. A lot of work because he's a little finicky. So for comparison, here he is next to the Classic Seeker and the iGear Seeker. And this doesn't scale very well with either of those. But at the same time, in one episode he was big enough to punch a jet out of the sky. So I guess it just depends on which cartoon you're watching. Ultra Magnus was really kind of one of those that jumped sizes a lot. I just was grabbing a couple other guys to show them off with. So moving these guys out of the way. Here he is with the Springer and an MP car. So he doesn't really scale very well with the Springer. Springer was bigger than that. But he does scale pretty well with the Masterpiece car. So there's that. And here he is with Optimus and Rodimus. So there you go. And he does have a feature where you can lift this up. Take this blue piece here, lift this up, and you can open up the chest piece here. And he's got a cavity for the Matrix. Again, I have to agree with Optibotimus on this one full-heartedly, that it's like, the cavity's there. He's got the hands for it. Would something that small really have set them back that much to just throw it in there? I mean, this is irritating not having a complete figure. That's what it feels like. I don't have a complete figure. Like, a piece is missing from this figure because of this. And again, I do have the Matrix. I'm just refusing to show it off because that's not his accessory. Anyway, so close this back up. This will slot down. So yeah, he scales really well with Masterpiece figures. He is a Masterpiece figure himself. My final thoughts on this figure are this. Things don't lock in very well. Okay? It gets really irritating when things aren't locking. And you guys know me. I cannot stand that. I mean, that's why I hated those TFC Predacons, because certain things don't lock in. He's got a lot of that, where it's just like the whole trailer just does not seem to want to hold into place. I mean, yeah, you can get it into place and you can put it on your shelf and it'll be fine, but if you want to do anything with it, if you want to mess with it, you want to put cars on it. I mean, I would not trust putting a car on that top shelf or the top rack. I have this feeling that it would just kind of cave in on itself. So there's that. He lacks the posability that other Masterpiece figures have. He's not nearly as posable as him. Part of that's just due to the way he's designed, but I mean, they could have found certain ways to do some of this. I mean, there's no excuse why he doesn't have that extra pointer finger digit. There's none whatsoever. He's got a cut in his finger for it, and he doesn't have it. There's no reason why he can't have a thigh swivel as well as as well as that upper thigh swivel. I mean, Optimus doesn't. I'm messing with Optimus. His doesn't move very much either, but he also has this to make up for it. Does he have that? No, he does not. For being such a big figure, he does seem pretty hollow, but that is due to transformation, so I'm going to forgive that. What I won't forgive is the fact that, yes, he looks like he walked off the screen of one of those very poorly drawn episodes in season 3. I was going into this figure hoping for something that looks like Ultra Magnus that walked right off the animated movie, where he had lots of detail. He does not seem to have a lot of detail. I mean, I'm really not trying to hate this figure, but maybe it's because my expectations were really high, because I don't know. I'm buying a Masterpiece figure. See right here, his arms. See how those move out? His don't do that. I know I'm sounding like a whiny little bitch, but seriously, the detail's not there, the posability's not there, engineering's not there. I mean, he's got some great aspects. Like, I love how the cab folds away. I know a lot of people wanted to have their Ultra Magnus be a white repaint of Optimus Prime with armor. I'm really happy that they went this route as opposed to the other route, because it just kind of pulls it off a little bit better. And I like how the cab just kind of completely collapses into his back. I think that's really cool. It's great, smart engineering. But as far, I mean, I never actually played with the KFC one, but they did it too. So, Tarka is behind KFC. That's not really something to brag about there. Every time I look at the camera, it seems like I'm almost running out of time. Anyway, it's just, I don't know. I'm just very underwhelmed with this figure. I'm not entirely sitting here saying this is an amazing feat of engineering. It's not. As a matter of fact, quite frankly, I feel that the design and feel of this figure and the amount of detail that's on this figure, that this was maybe supposed to be a Voyager figure that they upscaled and then added a couple extra features. So, something like that. That's what this feels like. This feels like a Hasbro figure. This feels like the quality of like the leader class Jetfire, with the engineering and the simplicity of it, and just, but he tabs together better. I mean, he holds together really well when things snap into place. I mean, you hear that snap, and it's like, yes, that is solid snap. This guy just doesn't have that. So, all in all, I mean, I'm not just underwhelmed. I'm disappointed in this figure. I know some people are giving it a passing grade because it's a Masterpiece Ultra Magnus. But, quite frankly, when I think of a Masterpiece figure, I expect something of high quality. Those Bad Cube guys and the Cubex guys are actually better designed than he is. And they're not official figures. Scoria's infinitely better than this guy. Optimus Prime is better than this guy. Rodimus Prime is a little overcomplicated for himself, but he still has a Masterpiece feel. This guy doesn't have that Masterpiece feel, at least for me. This might be, different for everybody, but quite honestly, I feel let down. I feel like that Tarka just completely dropped the ball on this guy. And I'm actually seriously regretting not getting the KFC version. Even if the head's a little wonky. This is just not what I was expecting. I don't know. This just it is what it is. And you'll see me score other figures that are actually not as good as him in a way. You'll see me score them higher because they're more fun to play with. This guy, though, that's a huge thing that goes on with my score too, though, is the cost of the figure. At just under $200, $200 for this. And if he were maybe $100, I'd probably be sitting here praising this guy. But at $200, I have to give him shit, because $200 with the name brand, a name brand Transformer, that's a masterpiece figure that is this design, it is not very good for me. I'm gonna give him, the overall look is good, even if he's a little simplistic. But honestly, I'm gonna give him a 6 out of 10. And I'm hesitant to do that. I actually want to give him a 5, but I'm going to give him a 6 because he's a little bit better than, he's okay. But he's not great. I don't... Only people I'm going to recommend this to are the hardcore Masterpiece figure fans with the tagline of, be prepared for simple. Don't think MP10 or the MP Seekers, or the level of ingenuity that the MP cars have. Think classics design. This feels like a Classics figure. If he were this tall, he would be in a Classics shelf. He'd sell out everywhere. But he's too big for Classics. I mean, way too big for Classics. And it's just so disappointing because, I mean, this guy, cost me $50 less, just about. His engineering is just insanely better. I mean, this is a masterpiece figure. I mean, he's the standard bearer. Same with Soundwave. Those two are just infinitely better, and at $50 cheaper, there's a reason for it. And if you're sitting there like, well, he costs more because of the trailer. Well, he comes with the trailer, too. His trailer, I think, it does more in its own right. His trailer can't even hold together. Soundwave comes with Laserbeak, and just comes with the awesomeness of having a masterpiece Soundwave. So there you go. There's my thoughts on the MP Ultra Magnus. I am disappointed with this figure. I won't lie to you guys and sit here and say he's amazing. He's okay. So if you're an Ultra Magnus fan, maybe pick him up. But if you're a huge Ultra Magnus fan or a hardcore Masterpiece guy, you might already have the KFC guys. So I don't have the KFC one, so I can't say that he's better than the KFC or the KFC is better than him. But it's one of those, if you already have one, this guy's not really worth replacing other figures for. If you don't have him, get him. But if you do, just be prepared to not be super overwhelmed. I'm not feeling it. So there you go. There's my spiel.